What's going on, everybody? I would die before I ever work a 9 to 5 job again. I want to talk to you about that. Look, I worked a 9 to 5. I worked for a school district for 15 years. And, then we went out on our own with the food business. And guys, I don't think I could ever go back to working a 9 to 5. To work for someone else again. I don't think I could ever do that. And let me tell you why. I do work more hours with my food business than I did working for the school district. There's no doubt about that. Okay? I work way more hours during the course of, March through early November, okay? And then I have 4 months off, essentially. And I put a lot of hours into those 4 months, those 8 months. It's nuts. But being self-sufficient and working for yourself and your family is, to me, so freaking worth it. It's not even close. I think people hear this adage, I'd rather work 80 for myself than 40 for somebody else. And that's true, at least in my experience. That's true for me. Another reason is the freedom to negotiate and make my own schedule versus a 9 to 5. Let me just tell you a little bit about my life. 2 years ago, we lost my father, and it was a process. And had I worked a 9 to 5, I would have used up all my PTOs, VTOs, whatever, during this process. And then having to help take care of my mother after that, right? So, I wouldn't have ever been able to call in sick again, stuff like that, right? And so it gave me freedom having my own company that I could negotiate and make my own schedule. Does that mean I had to work later on at night or whatever? Yes, but it allowed me that freedom. Secondly, check this out. We lost my wife's father last year. Same freaking thing, except his ordeal was longer lasting in the hospital and other things like that versus my father. I mean, he went on for months. And my wife was able, because we own our own company, to massage the schedule, whatever, to make it where she could be at the hospital by his side every day. You can't put a value on something like that. I mean, there's no way she would have had to take a leave of absence or whatever from wherever she was working at before. But it's not just that. Like those, those two instances are just great examples, but there's so many more. I also want to talk about money. I was capped when I worked for the school district. There was a certain salary I couldn't get above. And you're not capped when you own your own company, okay? You're not capped. You're only capped by your work ethic, drive, determination, whatever, right? You're only capped by that. So, with that being said, you're never capped. It's up to you if you're going to be capped, okay? I hope that makes sense. So, from an income perspective, it makes much more sense. for us to not work a 9 to 5. But not having a boss, I mean, okay, I have clients, right? So I do have bosses in a way. Actually, I probably have more bosses, so to speak, because I have clients that we work for, right? That we do our business at with our brick and mortar. So with that being said, I mean, yeah, we have more bosses, but not really. There's no one standing over me. The deadlines I have to make for contract negotiations and stuff like that are deadlines I set. I set my own deadlines. I make my own schedule. Here's another beautiful thing. When I worked for the school district, I had to get up early all the time. All the time. Like early, like sometimes I had to be up by 4 to be there by 5. And I'm not an early bird. I hate get. Now I stay up late and I get up with no alarm clock. That's my thing. I know some people say, oh, you gotta get up early as an entrepreneur to be successful. Not in my case, you don't. I stay up late, but I'll stay up till 1, 2 in the morning, and then I wake up when my body wakes up. When I want to get up, generally speaking, unless the grandkids are over and they're over early and they wake me up. But besides that, I don't get up till my body says it's ready to get up. And I don't know if you can understand that feeling of being totally refreshed every day of your life. I mean, I could list off probably 100 more reasons why I would die before I work a 9 to 5. If my food business failed, I would go into another business, right? I would find another business. There's millions of other businesses people could get into. There's no way. Now, I hope I'm not jinxing myself with this video, right? Sometimes when you do something like this, you can jinx yourself, right? And I hope and pray that's not what's happening here. But I just want to put this perspective out there for people maybe that work a 9 to 5. I'm not telling anyone to quit their job, guys. You got to do what's best for you. But for me, no way in heck. No freaking way would I ever go back. It would have to be the most direst of direst circumstances where I went back to work for somebody. I can't do it now. After being an entrepreneur, you can't do it. You see the world through a different lens. You see all the opportunity out there, not just in the food business, but in anything. You see it. And there's too much opportunity out there for me to not be an entrepreneur forever. Hope you liked the video, my friends. Talk to you soon.